God is the one who supplies seed to the sower, not a man, not a woman, not a young man or an old man, not boy or girl, but he supplies seeds to the sower. God does not give to everyone, he gives to the giver, not human. That human being needs to have a particular adjective that will qualify him to have access to the seeds of God. This is telling you, God does not give his seed to people who will not plant, but he gives his seeds to those who are going to sow. So until you become a sower, God does not give to you a seed. He's talking about a person who acts, not a person who lives, not a person who has gotten life, not a person who is in need, but a person who is ready to do something with what is going to give to him or her. So it doesn't matter your age, your gender, your location, or your background. All that you need is to be what God expects of you. You don't visit a farm a day and then expect yourself to be called a farmer. Don't expect yourself to be called a pastor once you have only preached once. Don't expect yourself to be called a giver once you only tried to give once. Don't try to expect people to call you a rich person once there is nothing showing that you have riches, because there is nothing like you giving out anything. So the one who depends on the seed planted will always fail, because what goes on in the soil as far as the seed is planted in there, it's a mystery, and we don't know how God makes it happen. So for your seed to become a fruit that will produce food, it is not the strength of man, but for the plant to grow well, it requires a particular responsibility. That is why there are cultural practices that are always done on the farmland before the harvest time. Anybody who plants and expects to harvest is a shallow-minded sower, but the one who plants and then practice all the cultural practices or does all the rituals required for the plant to germinate and then produce enough fruit is a matured sower. An immature sower always expects returns without responsibility, but a matured farmer plants and then become responsible, and these people are always hopeful for a bumper harvest. Remember, we don't serve God irresponsibly and then expect possibility. We serve God responsibly and all things will be possible. I've been in the church for 16 years and I haven't seen any good thing in my life, and I've been giving tithe, I've been giving offering, I always tell people, don't talk about what you do more than how you did it, because the quality of your act is dependent on how and not what. So don't always say I gave 5,000, I gave 20,000, I gave 1,000. The amount matters, but the heart is the qualifier. Anytime you become reluctant towards giving, you have a problem with forgiveness. When God gives you the seed, it is not a prosperity. When God gives you money, it is not a prosperity. When God gives you talent, it is not your prosperity. When God gives you beauty, it is not an assurance of marriage. When God gives you an opportunity, it's not an assurance of breakthroughs. When God gives you access, it is not an assurance of you having access. But look at something. When God gives you everything, you have to sow it. Until you sow, you don't multiply. If you want promotion, do something meaningful with your position. Any position God has given you, let that position be planted in the lives of people. Let that position bless people. Let that position change lives. Use what you have to serve your fellow human being. Don't save it for yourself. It will amount to nothing. If you are a musician, you know how to sing, you know how to rap, stay in your room and keep rapping and keep singing. Do your demo and listen to your own song and see if you can get to that level of stardom. Keeping what you have is the nicest way of becoming poor, but giving out what you have is the toughest way of getting blessed.